Now, moving on, it's very important for you to understand to analyze the CLAT papers over these past years. Why? Why is it important? You must feel like you are doing everything on your list. You are going through the legal concepts. You are attending all the classes that we are providing. You are taking additional help also. But you are not keeping a check of the paper trends over past years. This is a big mistake. Please don't do it. This will result in a lot of losing of marks from your end, and which is what I don't want you to make. Uh, when we are talking about important landmark judgments, there are certain things you can do. Certain things you can notice, which I am here to tell you. When it comes to importance of judgments, the shift from recent judgments to the landmark ones is very apparent. So what used to happen, or what students usually think is the more recent the judgment, the more important it is. Where it's not so. Where on one hand, recent judgments are very important, but landmark judgments are more important. You should give more emphasis on landmark judgments such as Keshavananda Bharti case, right? Minerva Mills case, Menaka Gandhi case, and certain other cases like the Shreya Singhal case I've told you about. So these cases are very important. So you should give them more importance, and you should also analyze what cases over the past few years have been repeated again and again. I can assure you Keshavananda Bharti case is one of them. Another important observation is the variation in question types. So now it's a very common thing to ignore variation in question types. You must feel like you will only get straightforward questions from the passages. You have to read the passage and you have to answer. Where it is true that you have to read the passage in order to answer, there are certain knowledge of the facts that is very important. If you know those facts, it's easier to answer the questions, and there is a high probability that if your paper is from moderate to high difficulty level, the questions will be a little bit more complex and they will require your critical analyzing skills. So you should look at the past paper trends and be prepared for even an easy paper and a difficult paper. Both should be in your fingertips. The third one is the broad spectrum of legal domains can be seen even with a few areas that are not equally represented in the paper. Do not make the mistake of only focusing on one legal area, one legal domain. So there's only criminal law or only contracts law. You should be well versed with all the legal areas in your syllabus, in the CLAT syllabus properly, so that you don't miss out. Sometimes the areas you do not give a lot of attention to also come for 2 or 3 questions in the paper. So that way you can miss out on a lot of important marks. Lastly, the CLAT papers have demonstrated a need to be familiar with basic legal concepts and have the ability to apply them to hypothetical questions. And the importance of repetitive areas should not be ignored. Now, what this means is that you should not ignore, for example, a question has been repeated or an area has been repeated for the past few years. And you should not assume that this has been the case in the past, but now because it has been repeated, you will not get the same question. It will be a grave mistake on your end, and you should avoid doing this completely. In fact, you should give that question more importance, and you should make sure that you are uh, completely knowledgeable in that area, so that if it comes again, then it's an easy score for you. Moving on, CLAT papers have, you should be, as I've told you in the beginning of this class, basic legal concepts should be within your fingertips, and you should know how to handle questions with these legal concepts, and you should not be confused. This will save your time, your energy, and make you more confident in solving the further questions in your paper. So, this was all for today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. And you can request certain case laws as well in the future if if you come up with more ideas, if you come up with your own interpretations as well. I am all ears. Thank you for the session. My name is Isha Mitruka, and it was a pleasure teaching you all. Goodbye.